Well, folks, I got good news and I got bad news. Some for me and some for you. Right after we roll that intro, I'll tell you. Well, the good news for me is I'm hunting. I shot a doe this morning. She's hanging out in the garage. And now I'm back in the stand. Hopefully we get to see something tonight. Something worth shooting at. Now the bad news. Oh, wait, one more good news. The good news for you guys. The good news is you're watching another episode of Breaking Edge Outdoors. Welcome back. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys' support. But the bad news for you is you're watching another Breaking Edge video, but it's with me. And the bad news for me is we're down here in the creek bottom. So that's my favorite place to be out and even the nut, especially with a northeast wind. It's gonna be perfect all night. I'm in here a little bit later than I wanted to be. Ooh. And since it's been so dry lately, all the leaves and everything make it impossible to get around without making a bunch of noise. Absolutely impossible. The other bad news is there's a deer down here that I end up bumping. Thankfully it wasn't double wide. I couldn't see any headgear, so it was either going to be a very small buck or it was a doe. And also, I woke up this morning, started getting ready, stopped for a second, check Facebook, and the very first picture I see is Dandy. My Dandy. The buck I've been watching for the last couple years and decided that this was the year that I'm not going to let him walk if I get to see him again. Well, I'm not going to get to see him again. A local young man. And I can appreciate it, I can't be mad. It's not my deer. But a local young man that I've known for, since he was like 5, I think. I used to work with his mom. They're all good people. I do appreciate it. I mean, if I didn't get to take him, I'd rather, a young hunter be able to take him. But Dandy is gone. He is no more. I'm 99.9%. I'm going off the brow tines. I had a little curve to him, and he had that little sticker on towards the end of his right beam. But we still got double wide down here. I hope, as long as I didn't blow him completely out of the area he wanted. When I bumped him a couple weeks ago, and my battery's dead, so I gotta change that. Fresh batteries, just like that. Anyway, I was just gonna finish up by saying that we got the Matthews tonight. Brought the Matthews tonight over the Bowtech because I don't really want to shoot that Bowtech over 30 yards, and I'm more comfortable with the oomph behind this Matthews if I had to go to 40. But that's my absolute max. Oh, and per usual, we're all washed up and stay invisible, no stink. No stink. No stink. I am sprayed down with some dirty nuts. I usually do all up in cedar down here because there's a lot of cedar trees up on the top of the hill. But the dirty nuts were already in my hand. Alright, I'm going to shut up. Let's get after it. find your great grandpappy. Tell him I want to talk to him. I want to introduce him to the Grim Reaper. And I'll tell you what, after deer season, I'm going to introduce some of these squirrels to a 17 HMR. These things are driving me nuts. Alright, what's up? So when I left off yesterday, I think I just filmed those couple of doe that were across the creek. Shortly after that, I didn't get to film it because they ended up getting in too far and they were on the wrong side of the tree and whatnot. But there's 3 or 4 does there. I never really could tell for sure. Came out of that real thick stuff there behind me. And then a couple minutes later, there was a few small bucks. That 4-corn that I had, he was one of them. There was a basket rack 6 and then another spike. They came in, they had their nose right up them does. I got to kind of be able to watch them through all that stuff for a little bit. It's kind of neat getting to see them push them all around, hear them grunting and all that good stuff. You know, acting like they're big boys. And then we pick it up this afternoon. It's about 3 o'clock right now. So we got a really late start. But we got out here. We're actually on Darren's property, my buddy Darren. He just had shoulder surgery a few weeks ago. So we got him, and he had therapy and stuff today. That's why we were getting out so late. Physical therapy. Well, I don't know, Darren, you're kind of nutty. It's okay, we love you, man. We're out here on some of his family ground. I got him all set up and situated. He's, like I said, he's on the ground. He's got his Mission Sub 1 crossbow. He's got him a drink. He's got some snacks. Ran down the cornfield and jumped in one of his tree stands. I'm less than 10 yards off the cornfield, right behind me. Kind of sitting up on a flat top. And there's a couple of draws that comes down into a big valley down through here. He's seen several deer. He actually shot a real good buck out here last year. Not really sure what happened. We tracked him for a couple hours and we never did find him. He had ended up getting a trail cam picture. He's pretty sure it's the same deer. The shot must have been high up in no man's land. You know, that weird spot where it's too high for lungs and too low for spine. But that deer ended up living. So maybe we'll see him tonight. We never know. But we got about 2 hours to sit here. So we're gonna shut up, turn this camera off, and it ain't getting turned back on unless there's something to see. Stay tuned. Got one coming in down here in this bottle. It is right at 4 o'clock. It's like 4:01. That was cool getting to see that little 3-point come in. Right? It's almost like he read the script. It came right up to 30 yards. Now we just need his great grandpappy to come do that. When he kept looking up here, I don't think he was looking at me. I've got about 15 squirrels right here off to my right. I think that's what was getting his attention because they're making an awful lot of noise. He's still over there, so I'm going to shut up. Well, as we can see, it's dark. 5:12. We technically still have 5 minutes of shooting light left. But, I just heard Darren shoot. he shot. He must have had a doe with him, with the deer that he shot. Because all the way up until I turned the camera on, she was pretty close and blowing at me. Well, not blowing at me, but blow. So this video just might end with a deer. Well, the thing happened that we don't like to happen. We couldn't find his deer. I got home, got a little bit of food in me. I pulled it up on Google Earth. In a straight line, we followed blood for about 450 yards in a straight line. That's not counting the zigzagging and up and down and stuff that we did. It completely baffles me, and you guys let me know if you've ever had this happen. The first 150 yards of that blood trail looked like you had 2 cans of paint and just pouring it. I mean, it was a steady stream for over 150 yards. And then even after it stopped streaming, I mean, it was still good blotches of blood every, 10 inches or so. And then it just kind of whittled down to where it was getting to be just drops. I don't know. I wasn't there when he shot. I heard the shot. I heard the bow go off, and I heard the good loud crack that you want to hear. So, I don't know. It happens. We don't like it to happen. But the reason we quit, she ended up crossing property lines, couldn't get a hold of the landowner, and blood was fizzling out anyway. So, we don't like it, but it happens. I've got to go through and get this taken care of. So that's what we're going to do for now. And then we're going to pick it back up in the morning. So, you guys want to know why I don't trim my beard? This is why. That's much more gooder. So, you guys ever get so excited to go out for a midday hunt that you forget to put your contacts in and realize that when you're about halfway to your spot and have to turn around and go home, go put your contacts in so that you can actually, see what you're doing. Struggle bus. Well, they're finally picking that corn that's across the road here. That's a good thing for me. And also, since they're doing that, normally out here I spray down with that all open cedar, but today, going with the dirty nuts, hoping that, with them picking corn, it's going to have, that fresh dirt smell stirred up. The wind's really not going to be perfect for that to be blowing my direction. I know this field does go back quite a ways, so it could kind of cut in, but dirty nuts. That's the great thing about Stay Invisible, guys, is they've got a scent to cover any situation or scenario that you're going to hunt in. Almost every environment that you're going to hunt in, whether it's a bean field, cornfield, clover field, in the woods, on field edges, round oak trees, round cedar trees. Stay invisible, guys. Get it? And stay invisible. I don't know if it's still any good or not, but I still got a bottle of this A&P. This is Almost Heaven Doe and Estrus. This is from last year. I don't know if it's still going to be good or not, but I'm going to squirt it around, see what happens. Definitely don't want to forget my water today. It's supposed to be like 75 degrees. It's It's November 9th. That's dumb. But I'm gonna get this closed up. I'm gonna grab the Matthews and I'm gonna go get in the woods. What are you doing there, sleepyhead? You're not supposed to be there. How am I supposed to get to my stand? I guess in order to make the best out of a bad situation, I'm just gonna sit here on the ground in the middle of the trail until he decides to get up and move. Well, this has been a lot of fun so far. It's 11 o'clock. It took me an hour to get into my stand. What a weird year. It's been a weird year. After I shut the camera off, I waited another good bit to make sure he was out of sight before I got up. Well, a good bit after he was out of sight. And I had to come down real slow. I was using my binoculars and scanning his bottom to make sure, he didn't get somewhere and stop, turn around to watch. And I think he ended up doing that. I still came down real slow. The spritzer thing on that A&P whitetail, Almost Heaven, wasn't working. So I took my time and dribbled it out on my way, made a nice little puddle out here in front of me. And then I just reached the top of my stand. I look up and that little buck's running. Well, he's not running, but he crossed the creek about, 125 yards down. But when he got across the creek, he wasn't acting like he was spooked, so I think he was just in a hurry to get across the creek. But we're set up. We got the Matthews knocked up. I got that Grim Reaper sitting on that Easton. Got the Scott Pursuit. Cock locked and ready to rock. So we got about 6 hours. We're gonna sit here. Hope I brought enough water and snacks. I don't know how you folks down there in the southern states do it. It's hot. It's supposed to be a high of like 74, 75 today. I'm showing 70 right now if it's actually accurate. I don't get cell phone service down here. But it's quite warm. Sitting pretty well in the full sun. Already drank about half my water. I did not budget for enough water. And I dressed way too warm. As long as there's a breeze moving, it's not bad. But outside of that, it's hot, boys. This tends to always happen to me. I take my vacation, it just gets hotter than hell. Starting Saturday, I think. The highs are in the like 30s and 40s. That's not near as enjoyable to sit in. But it definitely makes the deer move a little better. So, the doe that bedded on the hill is still up there. And then down through the bottom, up from the south. That doe that I just was recording is being pushed by a forkhorn. As much as I hate to say it, because you can't blame them. Kids are outside. It's a gorgeous day. And I'm glad the kids are outside. But when they're yelling and screaming, and I'm down here trying to deer hunt, I almost can't wait for them to get a couple years older so that they won't do anything but stare at a screen. I just don't know if this is going to work down here anymore. Because it's not doing me any good to sit here. If outside influences are going to be pushing them across the creek. And with 5 minutes of light left, it finally got quiet. That doe and fawn just come down off the hill. And they just crossed the creek. Oh, I'm glad I waited an extra minute before I decided to get down, because I was just about to. That's going to wrap up tonight.
wait a few more minutes until they get completely cleared out. And while I'm here, I'm going to pull my camera cards.